course, the left, they're flipping. They're flipping huge. And I say this to every single one of you cowards at Baylor. Howdy, y'all. I'm Brylan. What is happening? What is actually going on? Are pigs flying? Riley Gaines praises Trump as UPenn, the University of Pennsylvania, strips the records from Twan swimmer. If you remember, Leah Tommy won all those gold medals in swimming over a bunch of women. Definitely not proving the biological differences between men and women. None of that happened. But what's incredible is that the University of Pennsylvania is actually stripping the medals that the Twan swimmer won, and they're going to apologize. That's incredible. This story is going to blow your mind. Look at what the University of Pennsylvania agreed to do because of, the Trump administration came to them saying, you're going to do this. And then they're like, okay, well, fine. After a big, long, drawn-out fight, they agreed to do the things I'm going to show you in this video. We're winning, everybody. We're winning. UPenn is going to apologize to female swimmers who were forced to compete against someone who is not their own. I love what the Babylon Bee said. Disqualified Leah Thomas asked if she can still just hang out naked in the Olympic women's locker room. One thing we got to keep in mind is that literally, right before I started filming this video, it's July 3rd right now, and the Supreme Court is taking up a case on deciding whether essentially states can ban twans from women's sports. So it's all culminating and coming down to the Supreme Court making the right decision, which, as we've seen lately, is like 50-50. You have no idea what they're going to do at this point. But I feel pretty confidently that they're going to make the right decision here, because all of this it's dead. This woke forcing men into women's spaces, all of this, it's dead. It's gone. The American people have spoken. They hate it. They don't want it forced anymore. And, well, we're at this point now where universities are literally apologizing for forcing this on students. As you would expect, the mainstream media is flipping out. But thankfully, we have ground news to help set the record straight by showing you how the left and the right are twisting the news. Look, the left is saying Leah Thomas loses swim titles as UPenn caves to federal pressure. They want you to think that Thomas is the real victim here, not all the women. And the right is saying that UPenn is stripping Thomas's stolen women's championship. Now, ground news also shows you what mainstream media outlets are being biased. Their blind spot feature shows you when the left or the right isn't covering the news that you should know about. You can also see who owns each news outlet. If you go to ground.news/Brylan or scan the QR code on the screen, you can get 40% off the same Vantage plan that I personally use. Thank you for supporting the sponsor of this video, Ground News. It helps me to continue to bring you daily news videos that you can trust. In fact, here is UPenn's official Title IX compliance, but they also added, in addition, in providing to female student athletes intimate facilities such as locker rooms and bathrooms in connection with Penn athletics. Such facilities shall be strictly separated on the basis of sex and comparatively provided to each sex. That is incredible. This is amazing that this is happening. Remember, just not even a year ago, okay? You weren't allowed to say this. You weren't allowed to even acknowledge that there should be separate spaces. If you said you felt uncomfortable with a man in a woman's locker room watching them undress, then you were labeled bigot. But now here we are, prestigious universities are saying that they're going to give women the spaces that they deserve and should just have had all along. Keep this in mind, though. Baylor University, a very prestigious, probably the most prestigious Baptist university ever, just announced that they are a project to foster inclusion in the church for women and LGBT individuals. So you have University of Pennsylvania and all these other secular universities essentially admitting, yeah, okay, fine, we're going to give women their own spaces and blah, blah, blah. I mean, they're not anti-LGBT now. They're still going to push the agenda. Let's not pretend like this battle's over. But there's small wins like this still matter. But Baylor University, a very prestigious Christian university, is going the opposite way. So now it's time to kick Baylor in the butt and tell them we're not going to put up with it. It's disgusting. These cowards at Baylor are giving in to the agenda, and we're not going to stand for it. And I say this to every single one of you cowards at Baylor that is giving into this woke agenda, thinking you're going to be hip and accepted by the world. The world hates you. If you notice, they're never satisfied with anything. They hate everything. They want to destroy everything and make everything feel as miserable as they are. So you giving in this much is not going to make them like you and accept you. All it's doing is making God your enemy. Also, I am now your enemy. Linda McMahon had this to say. She's the head of the Department of Education now, which, by the way, the Department of Education used to post this in June all the time. They would force this, the Pride Month on you, on your children. Then you look at the Department of Education now. Look at this on their Instagram. This was last year. This is this year. Nothing. No LGB, no Pride. None of the indoctrination. Now, I'm not saying that the education system is just fixed. It's perfect. It's definitely not. But again, small wins.
This is a big deal. The university is apologizing. It is taking away the titles that were incorrectly given to men. It has stated that it will not have anything on its website other than the fact that they are complying, with Title IX. We are just very pleased with the outcome that we had today. It's an utter triumph for President Trump and for the administration, but mostly for the women and girls who will come behind the Riley Gaines and the Paula Scanlons.
This is exactly what UPenn will have to do. They will have to restore to female athletes all individual UPenn Division I swimming records, titles, or similar recognitions that were stolen from them. UPenn will also issue a public statement to the university community stating that it will comply with Title IX, which we already saw, and will not allow males to compete in female athletic programs. Whoa! The statement will specify that UPenn will adopt biology-based definitions for the words male and female. This is wild, you guys. Do we understand what's happening here? The battle's not over. Nothing's been totally won yet. But the thing is that God is allowing something incredible to happen here. Let's not take it for granted. Let's not take advantage of it either and just pretend like everything is won. We can just rest on our laurels. No, that's not going to work. We must continue to stand and fight against, because this is going to continue to creep up. Again, I showed you Baylor University is giving into this garbage. So Christian universities are starting to try to indoctrinate people with this. So again, we got to keep fighting, but this is incredible at the same time. It's amazing to go from it was just yesterday that if you acknowledged biology, then you were the worst of the worst. You were canceled. You were destroyed. The left would scream and cry. And here we are. Biology-based definitions at one of the most prestigious universities. Of course, the left, they're flipping. They're flipping huge.
About how twisted feminism, quote unquote, feminism has become. Their arguments, in order to exclude anybody in the trans category, you have to reduce women to reproductive capacity, which is, in my opinion, extremely anti-feminist. I don't want to put those women down either, and I know you don't want to either, because I see pain. I see pain, and the pain is coming from somewhere. It's not you, though. It's the patriarchy.
So feminism, which I loathe. What they're saying here is that feminism has let men down. Okay, that's their argument. Now, feminism, as we all know, is an ideology that advocates for equality, opportunity, and equal treatment for all women. That women and men should be literally seen and treated as the same. And now you have the T in LGB coming in and demanding that the same feminist women elevate men above themselves because that's true feminism. It's hilarious because a lot of feminists have fallen for this and essentially have admitted that men are better at being women than women. And that's what they're saying here, is that actually, wait, a lot of feminists are waking up. A lot of feminists are going, wait a minute, what we're advocating for, what we're pushing for, the opposite is happening. And so, hold on, we're not going to do this anymore. And they're saying that women are letting them down for not elevating them above themselves because that's true feminism. Do you see how the whole system, how all of these corrupt ideologies lead to nothing but destruction? They always will, no matter how virtuous you think you're being. Thank God that He is sovereign and in control. Look at Proverbs chapter 19, verse 21. Many are the plans in the mind of a man, but it is the purpose of the Lord that will stand. It doesn't matter what man plans, what devious plans he tries to create to essentially overtake God, to be our own gods even. No matter what we try to implement, what we think we can make happen to usurp God will never stand, because it is only the purpose and the plans of the Lord that will succeed. But hey, let me know your thoughts about all this in the comment section. I would love to hear from you. And if you wouldn't mind hitting that subscribe button, join this community. I would love to hear from you on a regular basis. And please hit that thumbs up button, when you like this video, to get pushed out to more people, and it would really help spread the truth. All right, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.